thanks for that, Frank. Time now for the Can a Leopard Truly Change His Spots edition of the Water Cooler Buzz. Eric and Gail with us live, and Sandra Bullock and Jesse James. There's somebody's, that's our boss, by the way. Jason Ball. And I feel he put on a scowl for that photo. He usually
I wonder what that's for.
Yeah, I think that's kind of psych himself up. Yeah. All right. Sandra Bullock and Jesse James, they've been married for 5 years, and during the course of that time, Sandra's really extended herself for her husband. You know the story. In the midst of a custody battle with a former wife, Sandra wrote a letter to the court saying what a good father, good man Jesse is. This morning, she might have a different opinion. The story has been all over the place. Here comes Michelle McGee, a tattoo model who has sold a story to In Touch magazine detailing what she says was 5 weeks of nonstop sex, an 11th-month affair. So we have the formerly happy couple, we have the other woman, and now we have this. Due to unforeseen personal reasons, a trip abroad to support The Blind Side has been deemed impossible at this time. You see, that phrase, personal reasons, to me, kind of tips it off. I apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. Thank you for your continued support of the film. This comes from Sandra Bullock saying she's not going to London for the opening of The Blind Side. They're apparently not living at home this morning either. People magazine says Sandra's moved out. This whole thing would be shocking, of course, but especially shocking in the context of the awards season. Everywhere Sandra went, seemingly, there was Jesse. Always more or less in the background, maybe holding the umbrella at the Golden Globes. At the Oscars after she won, she met the press backstage, and she spoke. You can feel the affection talking about her husband.
Your husband whispered something in your ear after you your name was called,
you expect me to tell you that? I know, bless your heart for trying. I'd never divulge what Jesse said unless he divulged it first. So that's just between me and the man.
All right, the man. Who's the other woman? A couple clips now of Michelle McGee. Here's the first one where she explains her upbringing.
My parents are very conservative. I grew up Amish. I left the church when I was 16 years old and never looked back. I want to get tattooed, and I moved out to California and I got tattooed and never looked back.
Wow. Got tattooed. We have another one, Michelle talking about her tattooed forehead.
I love my forehead. It was a really big step for me to do it. A lot of people told me not to do it. It says, pray for us sinners, because we are all sinners in life.
Well, we all may be sinners to some degree or another. We have about 256 questions. This is Jesse James's third marriage, including a marriage to a porn star. Does he have interest and appetite Sandra Bullock could never expect to quench? Why does this always seem to actresses shortly after they win their Best Actress Oscar? And given all this, can they put the pieces back together? Megan Henderson said earlier, no way, it's all too humiliating. And the conversation we were all having in the makeup room is that can a leopard change his spots? Can you tell?
That, you know, we were having a very candid conversation in the makeup room because it's hard. Nobody ever wants to admit that they would be attracted to somebody that would hurt them profoundly.
Right.
And nobody ever wants to admit that they might even have that ability or capability within themselves. Yeah. But I think that, you know, can you spot somebody? I don't know. You don't want to admit that.
Right.
Because why would you be with somebody if you knew that they were going to cheat on you?
No, that's true. And some that you would have no clue that they would be that kind of guy end up being, or woman end up being that kind of person. So I don't know that you can spot them.
You hear this phrase all the time about people don't change. And I don't know Jesse James. And in fact, I called Allie earlier. Said, gosh, you did that live shot with him the other day. And, you know, sometimes you get this sense, oh, somebody's hitting on you, something like that. And she said he was as nice as could be, spoke so lovingly of her, that kind of thing. You know, it is startling given all this. We have